I want to do my walk away story because I've never actually talked about why I walked away and what was my walk away moment. Now, I'm always talking about, how happy I am that I have walked away, but no one knows the reason why. I walked away, we can start back in 2008 when Obama was president. When Obama was elected president, I was ecstatic. I was really happy for him. I did not vote for him because I was too young to vote at the time, but I was ecstatic, and I was like, this is going to bring a lot of change into America because, of course, the first black president, he is going to take care of the minorities. He's going to care for, not only black people, but all of us minorities. That's what we thought. Me and my family were ecstatic. My father was really happy about that. He's like, things are going to start changing around here, just you watch. Now, nothing changed. And around 2011, 2012, things started getting really strange with race relations in America. Instead of getting better, people were not getting along more. Things were starting to turn into, very racially charged fighting in the streets. People were distrustful of the police for whatever reason. They want to say it's a race reason, I'm not sure, but something happened with this president, with that president at the time, that I think that black people, in a sense, in a way, felt that they were either not getting what they needed from their president and they were looking for something more, or the president was just completely abandoning that the things that he said that he was going to do, he didn't do for his community. So in around 2011, 2012, I started getting really distrustful of Obama, and I started realizing that he had said so much in order to get elected, yet he did pretty much nothing of what he promised. And I didn't want to say that was a Democratic thing at the time, because I was like, maybe it's just him. Maybe, don't blame it all on him. And, it could be other things. Maybe he's just not able to. Now, as time started going on, I realized that Obama was showing a lot of support for the LGBTQ community instead of caring about the main people that voted him in, which were the minorities. He started caring more about the LGBTQ community, lighting the White House, rainbow colors and all of this. But we still had those same policies, those, as we call it, racist policies in effect with him as president. Now, Trump changed all that with the First Step, act. But anyway, Obama never once just changed any of those policies. He never went back and corrected what Bill Clinton had done, regarding the black community. So I was really confused on why he wasn't putting, any effort towards that. I was like, that's really strange. These are the main people that voted him in, but he doesn't seem to be taking care of them as he said he was going to. But yet he's really caring about the LGBTQ community, lighting the White House rainbow colors. So I started feeling disappointed with Obama around that time, and I was thinking to myself, is this a Democratic thing, or is this a Republican, issue? Because around this time I was starting to get of age where I could vote, and I had to make a decision on where I wanted to stand. Now, at that time, I did still consider myself a Democrat, so I was like, okay, well, I'm, and my family is all Democrat, so I thought, yeah, this is just the way to go. So come 2015, Trump was in the elevator saying that he was considering running for president. I didn't know much about Trump because I wasn't into the American television scene. As you know, I'm not, I lived in and out of this country, so I wasn't really hip to who President Trump, Donald Trump was. I wasn't really hip to who he was, and I just knew that he liked to fire people and that people say he wore a weave or a wig or whatever it is, that thing on his head. So you know, I wasn't, and I was also scared because he was very boorish, and more and more as time went on, people were starting to pull out old clips of him, you know, saying things and you know, being a guy, really, just being a rich guy, but apparently that, you know, it made him look bad. I didn't want Hillary because I felt like Hillary just took us for granted. She took minorities and women for granted in my eyes. Like, she just knew that she was going to have all of the women vote and all of the minority vote just because she had a D next to her name. I didn't like that. I didn't like that she wasn't actually putting in effort for policies for women, or, you know, even not even just women. We women are not monotheistic. We're not monotheistic. I don't know how to say that, but we don't just believe in one thing. I know that's not the same word for it, but you get what I mean. We don't believe just one thing. We don't all believe in, you know, pro-life or pro-choice. You know, we are very different. Now, because Hillary, she put us all in a group of women. She said, if you're a woman, you must vote for me. And Michelle Obama said that if, you know, if we're women and we're not voting for her, then we're going against womankind. I thought that was very, just, it was disgusting how they just put us in this one group and just said, you know, doesn't matter what we're talking about. If you're a woman, you must do this. And if you are a minority, then you must do this. I didn't appreciate that, and I didn't want my vote taken for granted like that. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna vote on other things rather than my skin tone and my anatomy. So I started looking into Donald Trump at that moment, and I started seeing how the mainstream media was attacking him day and night. Like, they were relentless. And I was so confused. I was like, you know, this is so strange. Usually when people hate someone this much, it's because that person is doing something right. Usually when people they called him racist, yet the NAACP had given him an award years earlier. You know, he was in a lot of rap songs. You know, rappers were making songs about Donald Trump and how he was the American dream. But yet now, since he's running for president, he's racist. So I was really confused on all of this. And I was like, you know, I don't know any racist people that, you know, support Jews. So as time started going by and I started just seeing this hypocrisy and what they were saying about him, and, you know, what was actually true or what he was, I couldn't get with it. And I was like, you know, I think I might be wrong when the way that I'm thinking about Donald Trump might be wrong. Now, I didn't vote for the man. So when the election day came, sadly enough, I didn't vote. I didn't vote because I didn't want to be held responsible. Like, if, I know this is kind of selfish, but I didn't want to be held responsible if this man put us into nuclear war. I didn't want that on my hands. So I didn't vote because I was scared. Like I said, I was scared and I didn't know what to expect from this man. But all I knew is that I wanted him. So when he was elected president, I was so happy and relieved that we weren't going to have to look at Hillary Clinton for 4 years, you know, talking to us and talking down to us as Obama did, because that's what they do. I mean, you know, the liberals, they tend to talk down to us and talk to us as second-class citizens, and I didn't like that. Now, I wasn't fully on the Republican boat yet, but I was definitely getting off of the Democratic one. I was like, you know, I can't be with you guys. And after he was elected president, the Democrats just went crazy. Like, there was an explosion of hatred and just, I didn't know what country I was in for a minute, because I was not expecting that the party of tolerance and love, I was not expecting that they could be so hateful and so, it was so much vitriol. It was so much just relentless. It was just, I can't even describe it. I stopped watching the news. I stopped watching the news because I couldn't take it anymore. Every time I turned on the TV, it was Trump. It was Trump all day, every day. There was nothing else important in the world. Oh, there was a volcano eruption in somewhere in Asia, but Trump is more important. I was like, oh my God. I at that moment, I walked away. Like, that's when I was completely like, yeah, okay, I can't be with you guys. You guys are being completely irrational. Your attacking is relentless, and I can't be with a party like that. I don't understand where this hatred is coming from, but I don't want any part of it. I walked away, and ever since I walked away, I have been so much happier. My first video on YouTube, or my second video rather, was me talking about how happy walking away made me. And to this day, I am so happy. I have lived so much easier, you know, just knowing that my party is aligned with my values, you know, pro-life, family, marriage, you know, country, being patriotic, being supportive of my president, being just a normal American. I love that. I noticed that the Democratic Party is very anti-American now. I could not be a part of that anymore. I will never go back to that party. As long as they continue like this, they can just definitely count my vote out. I'm happy to be in America, and I'm proud of this country, and I'm proud of our president. And honestly, no matter who the president, you have to understand that this is your country no matter who the president, okay? Even when we have a president that we didn't vote for, we don't like, we have to support him because he is, you know, steering the plane. You know, we are the passengers in the plane and he's the one steering it. So no matter if we like him or not, we need to support him. So I noticed that the Democrats could care less. They don't care if this country burns down at this point, and that scared me. That scares me today, honestly. I'm still scared. I'm like, you know, that's scary to have people like that who just all for winning, all so that they can get their belly rubbed. They will just have the whole world burned down. I walked away, and I will never, ever walk back because I'm so much happier today than I had ever been when I you know, the Democrats, they kind of just thrive on sadness and despair and just gloom. I'm so much happier. And I've noticed also, before I go, I have noticed that conservatives and Republicans are a lot more welcoming. They're happier people in general. I don't know how that is. They're just happier people in general. In general, they're open to debate. We can talk to each other. Even if we don't agree, we still talk. With the Democrats, I've noticed that debate and discussion is no longer possible. Now, why is that? I have no idea. Is it that they just, you know, plug their ears and say la 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 la? Could be. But I've noticed that being on the right has been the right thing for me. And I will never go back. And that's my walkaway story.